car that started it all. This is my very first build, and with that came so many highs and so many lows and many lessons learned. There is literal blood, sweat, and tears underneath this paint of my own and probably many other people over the years. And honestly, looking at it now, I can appreciate it and appreciate the journey. But I also see every rookie mistake, every lesson learned, and every first attempt at building a car for a first time. And while the 3-rotor still screams and sounds incredible, honestly, the rest of the car tells a story about a girl just learning to build and express herself in the car world. Get out. Hi on set. It's been almost a decade since I first started building this car, and I can't help but wonder, what would I do differently if I could do it all over again? So today we're gonna have some good fun and go over everything that I absolutely hate about my first drift car. All right, so we're gonna start with the front of the car. I've never really been able to run a hood on this thing. With where the turbo sits, and honestly, like the placement of the engine, everything is just so high up that it's never officially had a proper hood fitted, which is a little stressful when you live in a place like Florida where it's raining all the time. Could we have cut up a hood and made something work? Yes, but we never did. So another thing that I don't like about this is that this car has to run nitrous with how it's currently set up. It currently has a G42 on it, which it makes really good power and it feels good, but if it doesn't have that spool aid, it is so laggy, and I just want it to be a little less high maintenance-y, so I really don't like that this car needs nitrous almost to run. I would definitely go down a size on the turbo. The new G40 I think would be absolutely amazing and perfect for this build and perfect as a drift car, so that would have to be number 2. Number 3, if we just step back, aesthetics up close have never been amazing. This car, outside of when it was first pushed out of the paint bay, and maybe even then, it's kind of been a 10-footer. It's turned into a maybe 20-footer at best. So I will say this was my first time ever attempting to install a wide body kit. Had never done it before. Had to hack up the rear of the car, hacked up the front, and the way that this kit was made too, there's just a lot of stuff that sits on other stuff, and it's just, you know, not really the best for a drift car. The gappage on this kit is pretty atrocious. That would be a major thing that I hate about my car, is just like, what are you even doing? I can literally shove my hand. This was actually the very first car that I ever painted as well. Alright, 3 cans later and I am done. This was also House of Color paint, the blue and the engine bay. Let's just continue roasting myself. We can look at the side too. The car didn't start like this. You know, this was a drift car and a drift machine, and it has been battle tested.
There's big
oh my goodness!
She has been a little roughed up over the years, got some drip stitches back here. Originally, this kit had another piece that went on the door here that would always scrape opening and closing the door, so eventually I took it off. Coming to the back here, most drift tracks, you cannot have a chassis mounted wing. I had like a dope Battle Arrow huge wing that would come up here. But I had to take it off. I actually wanted to drift this thing, so now the rear just kind of looks not complete. this happens. It's a drift car. The journey to the inside. RX7 FC things. These doors don't work. Have never really worked from the outside, which is annoying. They don't work on a lot of FCs. I've actually bought a few more chassis over the years, and that's one of the first things that I go and check out. If it's a brand new car, no matter how beautiful it is, I just go and see if the door opens. Door doesn't open. That's annoying. We'll come on the inside here, and this is where you start to see some really sketchy stuff. Probably one of the worst things about this car is the cage. It's bad. You know, I didn't actually weld this cage, but this was the very first cage that I helped build, do all the bending for, kind of the design. I cut all these gussets out, made them all, got these cool like star gusset things in here that I just thought were the coolest thing ever. I still kind of think they're cool, but like I was really obsessed back then.
Tú estás quemadita, mami, esa cosa choca. Choca, choca, toda la noche le doy una sota. Quemadita, mami, esa cosa choca. Choca, choca, toda la noche le doy. Quemadita, tú estás quemadita, tú estás quemadita, tú estás quemadita.
Man, when I said the car was a 20-footer, these welds are like 50-footers. These welds are really bad, and I would say like that's probably one of the most embarrassing things if I roll up to an event or I have someone looking at the car. I'm like, you don't need to look that close. It was definitely a little embarrassing having a SEMA, but hey, this car represents a journey, and you don't start at the top, you know? You gotta learn along the way, and there was a lot of lessons learned in this one. So a year ago, when I was driving this car somewhere, I was just tapping a gusset up here. The gusset that was up here, it was right here. It fell out of my head. The cage is pretty sketch, to say the least. So that is honestly probably the #1 thing that I hate about this car, because what he didn't do, like chop the whole thing out, shave down all the welds, like no one's gonna do that. I will say, like, I don't love this dash. It vibrates quite a bit, but this was the first ever dash that I even attempted to make. The fact that she's still holding up is pretty great. This is this shape, and it now has our fire system pull. Originally, when we were building this car, my goal was to have everything sort of not fully controlled, but gauges and data logging on an actual Microsoft computer that was going to stay inside the car at all times and just have everything displayed really, really cool. We never got to the programming of that, so that never happened. This shape is because a Microsoft Surface screen was supposed to go there, and now it's just space. Aside from the interior is just incredibly bad and old. I mean, that happens. If you guys have a drift car, things get beat up, especially when you choose white for the color of the interior. I touched up this car a lot with like spray paint back in the day, so just the interior, there's so many spots that are rusty, crusty, holes in it. Like it's not the best. And yes, I know this video is pretty much me just roasting myself, but it's a fun exercise to think, you know, what would you do differently if you could do it all again? Even just looking at the car, like this was my first ever build. Like I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I first started in my tiny garage in San Francisco, and I've learned so much along the way. It's still really cool to just look at that car and remember doing things for the first time or trying wiring for the first time. That's the first car I wired when we had a different setup in there, and just all those memories like mean so much, and to see the progression from then to builds now is cool. So I just wanted to do a little light or kind of harsh roast of myself, and yeah, this was pretty fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know your RX7 traumas if you got any as well, and I will see you guys in the next video.